Louisiana schools, the test scores have increased for the third year in a row. Devontae Martin joins us with a look at the schools in our region that has improved. Devontae?
Yes, LaShonda. According to the Louisiana Department of Education, 11 school districts in our region improved in overall scores in the past year.
We now have 3 high schools that have an A rating, and what that shows is that we are really focusing on enhancing the high school experience across the board.
Ouachita Parish is proud of the progress they are making as a school district. They are a part of 11 local districts that have increased their overall scores. The Louisiana Department of Education released state testing and overall performance scores Wednesday. Mary Beth Holzer works with elementary and middle school students. She shared their current method of tracking students' growth.
The school leaders have been looking at student work. They meet weekly to look at the student work, see what we can do, where those gaps are, and how we can increase those. And it's been paying off. Smaller school districts saw the biggest jump in Northeast Louisiana. East Carroll, Franklin, and LaSalle all increased scores by more than 3%. LaSalle Parish Superintendent John Garrett says improving attendance has led to better testing results.
I know that sounds kind of funny to say that we added some extracurricular to help with curriculum stuff, but we added a bunch of clubs, a bunch of activities, a bunch of things that kids really enjoy being a part of and doing.
And we have a full list of the scores for the Louisiana public schools in our region on KNOE.com. LaShonda?